Well, hello friends and welcome. This is going to be a fun little video. I'm revisiting LEGO Dimensions. It's 2021 when I'm recording this, but I think this applies in a year going forward at this point, 2022, 23, on into whenever you're watching this. The game has been out for a few years now, they've actually stopped production on it for a few years now is what I'm saying. So you can't buy this new. So I wanted to revisit it. I'm not gonna. It's not a tutorial. It's not a how-to. This is more of a looking back on it and asking some questions about how it's holding up. Now that the glimmer and the gloss is off of it, and we've kind of moved on. Is it worth playing? Does it hold up? What are some of the ups and downs of it? And if you have the chance to pick it up, would it be worth your time and money? So those are some of the things I'm hoping to cover. So I'm going to load into the game and I'll kind of play along as we're talking. All right, so I've loaded into our save profile here. I actually have a bunch of these toy tags. I'm going to dump them out here. You'll probably hear the sound. It's a familiar sound to you if you've played it in the past. But yeah, there's these little character tiles, I guess you could call them, that stored, like, they're little like, I don't know, minifigure pads, and they had that art. You can see it on the floor there, that art on the bottom that's represented on the little toy tag, I think is what they called it. And so yeah, I would say just kind of right off the bat, I have a lot of fond memories of this. This was really fun when they announced it. This was back when the whole Toys to Life thing was big. I would say Toys to Life is kind of the Skylanders, Disney Infinity, like that whole genre of games. LEGO kind of threw their hat in to that ring with LEGO Dimensions. And it's a fun idea. And it's, I would say, on the upside for sure, it really introduced some exciting official themes into the LEGO world. We got Back to the Future, we got Gremlins, we got Sonic, we got Beetlejuice. There's the LEGO staples. There's, of like LEGO City, there's LEGO Batman, Lord of the Rings, that sort of thing. But I mean, it ran the gamut, and that was really exciting. You could get these little gameplay bits and play those characters, but you also had real Legos that you could play with alongside them. So it was an interesting proposition just in terms of value. It did something different, I would say, in that regard from Skylanders and Disney Infinity, although those are both really neat. The sculpts on Disney Infinity were really cool and special. But yeah, so in that regard, that was really cool. I would say we revisited this recently with our kids, and some of the kids were I think probably a little too young to really remember this and dig in. And we watched Back to the Future as a family recently, and so they were really excited to be able to play as Marty and Doc Brown and play in those worlds and that sort of thing. So that's kind of fun. I will say though, they didn't stick with it long. They kind of got it out. They decorated the toy pad or whatever this thing's called, the portal, I think is what it's called. Played a little bit, but I think the kind of the next thing I was going to say, and in this sort of feeds into that, is that the gameplay was a bit frustrating for them. I think, and this happens quite a bit with TT games. It's not as refined. A lot of times it gets lost. Your character can get stuck. You're not sure how to progress, so you're not really sure what to do. And that's frustrating. And the kids kind of struggled for a little bit there, and then I think they were kind of ready to move on because they couldn't figure out what they needed to do to progress at a certain point in the Back to the Future level pack. I think that was a little disappointing or frustrating for them. So, I mean, but I think that's kind of typical of TT games. I'm hoping, the word on the street is they've got a new game engine for Lego Skywalker Saga, the Star Wars Skywalker Saga. So hopefully that gets better. I think the other thing I would say is it's definitely showing its age. It's showing sort of the cracks in the technology. I'm playing this this game specifically on a PlayStation 4. We're at a point now, the PlayStation 5 is out. There's an Xbox Series X, I think they're calling it. Those systems, not just graphically, are so much better, but I would say the thing that I've gotten used to in playing those is the speed at which they load games, and this game I think suffers from it quite a bit because you can't get a digital copy of it. I've actually looked. I looked for this game on the Xbox store so that I could play it digitally, and it was not available. So you can't get it. You can't take advantage of all the speeds that come with these new systems. The fast SSD, the really fast load times. So when you do try to play this, you're playing it off a disc. It takes a while. If you're used to kind of the latest and greatest and the new speeds, it's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel slow. It's gonna feel clunky. So I'll say, in sort of this future that this time that we're in, that's past the game's sort of prime and release. They're not updating it anymore. That is one of the downsides to it. That's a little bit about the gameplay. So I would say, does it hold up? Maybe not as much. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to revisit it? If you saw this, I guess there's a couple scenarios here. You could probably look for some of these on eBay. My guess is some of the figures are more valuable than others, just depending on rarity and popularity. So you could end up spending a lot for some of these. Is that worth it? Well, I think that depends on your attachment and your association with the characters. If you really love Portal 2, if you love Gremlins, if you love Back to the Future, if you love Scooby-Doo, then yeah, sure, it's great. You can play them in the game, and you have the minifigures to go along with it. So yes, if you saw it at a thrift shop and it was super cheap, I would say absolutely go for it. They're fun. And if you can get past some of the frustration in the gameplay, it's a good time. In the present, looking back on it, it was a fun period for Lego games. It's fun to have all of these characters. Does it hold up? It wants us to build this. No, we're not going to build that. So look at this. Look at this group of characters here. It's fun. You got a variety of characters. It's really neat. Do I think that TT Games or Lego would bring this back? I know some people might have clicked on this video wondering like, oh, is there news? Is there any insider information? No, I have none of that. But I'm gonna say, make an educated guess and say this game is done. This sort of closed its life cycle. Don't expect anything new. Any rumors you hear online are just going to be people looking for clicks. I think TT Games has moved on. Lego has moved on. It's exciting what it sort of introduced in terms of licensed Legos into the kind of the Lego universe and that sort of thing. But I don't expect anything else from this, I would say. One of the fun things I would add on here, and I'm hoping to do more videos, is I love the little builds, to be honest. The little DeLorean or all the little things, the little train from Harry Potter. They're just fun little smart builds that, they iconic. And one of the things that I've sort of started doing recently that, again, I'll try to make some videos of these on how to do this, but Lego bought Bricklink a little while ago, and so there's this app that they have called Lego Studio, and I'm not sure all of the, all behind the scenes happening. I know there was a Lego digital designer thing that got shut down in the past, but Lego is supporting through Bricklink this app called Lego Studio. It's available on your Mac and your PC. And it has the entire sort of collection of Lego parts. And you can build official sets. You can build your own mocks. And I've actually found it's really kind of fun to revisit some of these old instructions from these little dimension sets and build the little DeLorean or the Back to the Future train or the Harry Potter train or all these other things. So I'll do some videos. Keep an eye out for those, for tutorials on how to do that. I guess, so in conclusion, I don't want to take this too much longer. Lego Dimensions in 2021, 2022, whenever it is you're watching this, looking back on it, it's a fun property. It was a fun game. It's great that they introduced all of these new IP into the Lego universe. If you can get a hold of it at a decent price, I would say go for it. The gameplay it's okay. It's fun to kind of enter these worlds. I think the kids will have fun with it for a little while. The toy pad is really innovative, I think, in that you could put multiple characters on it at the same time and play with. You know, like I'm switching between all these characters. That's really a neat thing that they kind of introduced into this Toys to Life genre. So yeah, there you go. Leave a question, a comment in the comments below. I'm happy to kind of have a dialogue about it. I really enjoyed the properties. It really kind of came around in a time that our channel was really, we were trying to invest time in making videos and having these fun things. And so there's a lot of nostalgia in it for us. Your mileage may vary. If you have a PlayStation, if you have a Xbox and you can get a hold of the content, I hope you enjoy it. But again, as being a product of its time, it's only available physically. You can't download it digitally. It's not available on the Nintendo Switch. There was a release for the Nintendo Wii U, if you can remember that console. But yeah, so you're kind of limited in what you have. But if you have those systems and you can get those discs and you can play it, I hope you have a lot of fun. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you around. Take care. Bye-bye.